what's up? So it's been a while since I've done one of these videos. Those of you that know me, one of my biggest hobbies is collecting vintage cameras and using vintage cameras. Basically film cameras, from back in the day, right? So what I like to do is I like to go thrifting, get some cameras on the cheap, or camera accessories, things like that. And over the years I built up a pretty decent collection, and I just added to it recently. And that's what we're here to talk about. For my film photography, my primary daily driver has been this camera right here, the Minolta X700. This thing is a beautiful camera. Hashtag minoltagang. I think I got this off of Facebook Marketplace. It's been a good friend, reliable. It does have an issue with the 1000 speed shutter, but for the most part, this thing has been spot on. If you've seen any of my film photography off of Instagram within the last year, more likely than not, it's either been on this or my Canon P rangefinder. That being said, as much as I love being part of hashtag minoltagang, I'm a Canon boy at heart. I grew up shooting Canons. Right now in this video, the primary camera here is a Canon EOS M50, and I've had this thing for several years now, and this thing has been my workhorse. I used it as a vlogging camera for a while, then my hands got a little tired of holding it, so I switched down over here to the GoPro. This is still my primary camera for any type of photography. Unless I want film photography, then it's the Minolta X700. But like I said, I collect vintage cameras. I just picked up something, and it's pretty cool. When it comes to the Canon vintage camera scene, everyone and their mother basically has a Canon AE1 or an AE1 program. It's one of the most prevalent cameras in the vintage film camera, scene right now. And as such, prices have gone up fairly noticeably. I used to see the Canon AE1 cameras for about $28 to $50 max. Now I'm seeing them start at $50 up to like $150. I didn't pick up a Canon AE1. I actually picked up one of these guys. This is a Canon A1. So the A1, it's a little bit more advanced version of the AE1. If you find one in good shape, it should be more expensive than an AE1. It's a beautiful camera. All black body. It's just a beautiful camera. I got this off of Facebook Marketplace from a nice old lady up in Sacramento area. This thing came with this lens, the Canon Super Spectral Coating SSC 50mm 1.4. Pretty good lens. I did find one issue with it. It shoots fine wide open, but it only shoots wide open. The aperture blades are stuck. You can't really see it. But the other two lenses that it came with, they work fine. And the 1.4, I'm going to be shooting at 1.4 anyway. And so far the pictures I've taken with it, pretty interesting. I need to get out to get some more interesting pictures because I've just been shooting here in the house. But really glad to have gotten it. And biggest thing is, it works. Let's get you guys into focus. As you did here, it does have the Canon A series sneeze. It should sound more like this. But, as you heard, it sounds like a cat sneezing. But it doesn't actually affect the taking of pictures. It's just a little annoying. So, for now, I can deal with that. And then there's a place out in Illinois I'm going to send this camera to, and they fixed the problem for about $50. And $50, really small price to pay. I don't have to worry about opening it up myself, re-oiling the gears or the spring, whatever it is. So yeah, I'll do that eventually. But for now, I can live with the Canon sneeze. Pretty clean, pretty good condition overall. It doesn't have any of the stickers on it anymore. It had a little bit of camera bag dust on it, but for the most part, it's in pretty good shape. In my opinion, at least. And it works. That's the biggest thing. It works. Oh, and it has the battery cover. The battery cover is notorious for breaking off. The fact that it's there and it works, and for the most part, the camera all works very well. But I got quite a bit more than just the camera body and the camera lens. In addition to the camera body, the 50mm 1.4, it came with the lens that I'm currently shooting this video on my M50, the Canon FD 28mm f2.8 super coated. And as you can see, renders really nicely. I mean, it's a manual focus lens. So I don't know if I'm totally in focus, to be honest, because I'm kind of moving around, so the camera don't follow me around. But for the most part, I'm hoping I'm within a relative zone for focus. So we'll see. I hope this video actually turns out well. It came with a nice Canon branded bag for either the 28mm or the 50mm 2x teleconverter. It also came with this guy right here. So this is the Canon autowinder. So Canon A1, manual, operated. I want to take another shot. Gotta go reset. But it's got this autowinder here. And so basically, what the autowinder does is remove this bottom plug here. And there's actually a slot here to put this piece that you took off the bottom of the camera here so you don't lose it. So basically, right here. And as you see here, it's kind of a big setup. So let's see what happens now when we go to take some pictures. And I have to say, this thing makes it so much more comfortable, but oh so much more heavy. This thing's heavy. Look at this. Look at how much it adds to the grip. Crazy. So earlier I took a shot, I had to redo the lever. Can't do that anymore. Did you hear it? Let's do some rapid fire. Basically, it turns your single shot Canon A1 into a semi-automatic Canon A1 and technically into a fully automatic Canon A1. So take this thing off, single shot. Put this thing on, press the button once, semi-automatic. Hold it down, fully automatic. I hope they don't make me license this thing. But yeah, so it came with this thing, which usually when they come with this thing's broken. And to be honest, when I opened the battery compartment, there was a lot of corrosion on the battery terminals. Just cleaned it up with some white vinegar. Works perfectly. About 2 frames a second. So that's the camera itself, plus the main accessory that's going to go on the camera. Probably still going to be shooting this thing in single shot mode. There's something just cool about that tactile feedback when you're manually winding a film camera. It just feels right. It does make it a little front heavy though, because the center of gravity. I'm going to take it off. We are back in single shot mode. I bet you there's a certain political party that likes that a lot better. It came with this entire bag right here. So, where do we begin? Where do we begin? We'll start with this lens here. So I'm pretty sure this person was either a professional photographer or just one heck of an enthusiast, because everything was labeled with one of those old school punch labeling machines where it punches into plastic and then you just tape it onto the thing. This is the Canon FD 80 to 200 millimeter telephoto lens. It's an f4 aperture all the way through. I'm not super excited about this just because I have so many telephoto lenses already. I have the Canon 70 to 210 FD, which is also an f4 all the way through. But it's cool that it came with it. So we have, this one just says close up. I'm assuming these are those macro filters that you could put on the front of a lens. Never used those, but I got them now. So this is Vivitar automatic extension tubes. You know, this person must have really liked, macro photography. They're automatic, so they would work with the auto exposure. So these are literally just filters. Like, check it out. All these are all filters. I don't really run filters on my lenses, but if I got any, lenses that have, 55 millimeter threads, I will now. This says 5-face. It's a Hoya Multivision. Anyone know what that is? What the hell is this? It's a square in the middle, and it's got a bunch of, I don't know what this is, but this could be, okay, that's creepy. This could be very interesting. If you know what this is, please let me know how to use it, because I have it. So I'm going to use it eventually. Got an original, I'm assuming an original Canon camera strap filter holder. It's got a lot of the original literature. I'm assuming this is the instruction manual for the Canon A1, quick user guide for the Canon A1, general instructions for the use of Canon FD lenses, and it's got more instructions for Canon FD lenses, instructions for some of those Hoya thingamajiggers, power winder, quick user guide for the power winder. It's like a focusing chart or something for those extension tubes. Cleaner cloths, and Vivitar auto extension tube set instruction manuals. It came with one of these 28L photo batteries, although it's from 2015. So for all of this, Facebook Marketplace, bought from a nice little old lady. I paid $100. Like I said, I've seen the Canon A-1, which is an inferior model to this, start at $50 and go above $100. The A1 is worth more than the AE1. What I do to gauge the actual price, I go to eBay to the completed auctions. That tells me what the actual going rate is for something that I'm looking to buy at a thrift store, Facebook Marketplace. It's just a little bit of research that I like to do. Like for what I've been seeing, $100 for just this, probably fair, if not a little bit high, when you factor in the fact that the lens does not stop down. If it was a fully functioning lens, oh yeah, definitely all the way. Let's do this right now. This one just sold today. This is a Canon A1 camera body only. It sold for $89.88, $15.20 for shipping. Okay, Canon A1 SLR film camera finished yesterday with the Canon motor drive. It worked when I put it away, but after 10 years or no, it doesn't power up any longer. Not sure what's wrong with it. I'm selling it in the motor drive as is. Here's the thing, this one, you don't know what's wrong with it. It could be a dead battery. It could also be internals. It could be the battery died and the battery totally corroded the hell out of the internals of the camera. You don't know on this one. And this is for parts technically, and it's got the Gen 2 auto winder, so it's better than the one I have. This sold for $67 plus $11 in shipping. Untested. Okay, here we go. Canon A1 35mm SLR camera, f1.4 50mm lens. I did not test this camera, so it is untested. I was told that it works fine. It comes with the power winder. It comes with the f1.4 lens that I got. It looks to be in just about the same condition. It comes with some of the original literature. It looks like it does not have a hot shoe protector. Got one on mine. But yeah, overall, this is very similar to what I got. This finished on March 5. It sold for $199.99. And that's literally just the body, auto winder, and this exact lens, which I'll give it the benefit of the doubt that everything works perfectly. Mine doesn't quite work perfectly for the 1.4 lens. I paid $100 for the same thing, except my lens doesn't work perfectly, but I got a f2.8 28mm lens that does work perfectly. I got an 80 to 200mm lens, got the auto winder, got all the other stuff, $100. I'm pretty sure I did pretty well. So that was a quick overview of what I got. Unfortunately, I'm probably gonna put X700 away for just a little bit. I love my Minolta X700, but the Canon A1 has always been a camera that I wanted ever since I learned about it. Really excited about this. I'm so happy that I was able to get this for the price that I got it for. Yeah, I'm gonna be using this from here on out, at least for a bit, to see how I like it. Something tells me I'm gonna like it a lot. And actually that gives me a chance to send my X700 out for service, because it does need a little bit of servicing, clean, lubricate, and just a minor adjustments. Maybe the light seals could probably use a little bit of work. I mean, this is not a new camera. My Minolta X700, my Canon A1. Probably going to end up doing a head-to-head on both of these. They're both very similar in terms of general design. They were both made in the same era, same type of materials. They're both beautiful cameras. All black, perfect for some street photography. Not going to raise too many eyes, whereas if I'm shooting with a camera that's like white or silver, Asahi Pentax over here, you can see this is coming from a mile away. We'll talk about this one soon too. And with that, I'm going to cut the video. Thanks for joining me. Really excited about this camera. All right, and with that, catch you all on the flip.